Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings to all of you, and welcome to today's lesson. We're going to be talking on the powers of the Prime Minister, head of government. So, we're going to start from here. I'll be taking you to Section 11 of the 1996 Constitution, and from there, we'll come back to analyze the various powers, the various functions of the Prime Minister of the Republic of Cameroon. So, as per the wordings of Section 11 of the Constitution, the government shall implement the policy of the nation as defined by the President. When we're talking about the President of the Republic, one of the things we said is the President of the Republic defines the policy of the nation. Now, the government headed by the Prime Minister, they are there to implement the policy of the nation. And the government here headed by the Prime Minister shall be responsible to the National Assembly under the conditions and procedure provided in Article 34 of the 1996 Constitution. So remember, we also said that the parliament does what? They make law and then they control the government. So now, the Prime Minister is responsible before the National Assembly under the condition laid down in the Constitution in its Article 34. Now, the Prime Minister shall be the head of government, one, and he shall direct the action of the government. He shall be responsible for the enforcement of the law. He shall exercise statutory authority and appoint to civil posts subject to the prerogative of the president. So, since he has statutory authority, he can appoint to civil posts, and the president of the republic appoint to civil and military posts. So, anytime the prime minister is appointing to civil posts, he is appointing so under the prerogative of the president of the republic. Okay, now the prime minister, head of government, shall direct all the government services required for the accomplishment of his duties. He may delegate some of his powers to members of government and senior state officials. This may include what? Ministers, minister delegates, secretaries of state, and so on. And then now, the office of member of government and any office ranking as such shall be incompatible with that of the member of parliament, chairman of the executive or assembly of a local or regional authority, leader of a national professional association, or with any other employment or professional activity. So here ends, we have read from Article 11 to Article 13 of the 1996 Constitution, and here we are trying to outline what the powers of the Prime Minister. So now let's begin the analysis, and I'll encourage each and every one of you. I'll drop the Constitution after this. At the end of this lesson, I'll attach the Constitution. You download it and get it. So you begin to read right from the preamble. Get versed with all the sections or the parts of the Constitution. So now we are going to analyze what the powers of the Prime Minister. Let's get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're in constitutional law. We are discussing on the Prime Minister, but the role and responsibilities of the Prime Minister and the challenges he faces in the exercise of his functions. So we are discussing particularly on the powers of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister of Cameroon is the head of government. He is responsible for overseeing the administration of the government. The Prime Minister plays a crucial role in the coordination of the government policy and programs. He ensures that the government align with the president's vision and priorities. So what are the rules? The principal role of the Prime Minister is one, coordinating the government policy. Remember, the government, as stated in Article 11 of the 1996 Constitution, stated clearly that the Prime Minister shall do what? Implement the government shall implement the policy of the nation as defined by the President. So now the Prime Minister, functioning as the head of government, coordinate the government in policy and programs. That is to ensure that they align with the President's vision and priorities. This involves working closely with ministers, government officials, and then other stakeholders to develop and implement government policies. The Prime Minister oversees government administration. The Prime Minister is responsible for overseeing the administration of the government, including all the ministers functioning in their various posts in their various roles of responsibility. This involves ensuring that government agencies are functioning effectively and efficiently. Now, the Prime Minister represents the government. The Prime Minister here represents the government in international relations, including meetings with foreign leaders and participating in international organizations. Also, the Prime Minister is a great source of advice to the President. The Prime Minister advises the President on matters of the state, including economic development, national security, and social welfare. Now, when it comes to the appointment of ministers, the Prime Minister does not have the power to unilaterally appoint a minister. The Prime Minister can appoint to civil posts under the prerogative of the President of the Republic. Remember, we said the President of the Republic appoints the Prime Minister, and on the proposition of the latter appoints other members of the government. So the President of the Republic he appoints the Prime Minister, and then the Prime Minister goes ahead. He may come up with suggestions about the layout of members of the government, and who appoints is the President of the Republic. Now, we can talk of government businesses. The government businesses are being managed by the government, headed by who? The Prime Minister. So they are being managed by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister has the power to coordinate government businesses, and you know, when we're talking about government businesses, we are talking about services that are under the control of the government, not public services. We are talking here about, for example, we have the CDC plantation. It is government property. It's the property of the people of Cameroon, and it is managed as a business. It's a business that's managed by the government, and therefore under the coordination of the Prime Minister and many others. Then remember, like we said, the Prime Minister is responsible before the National Assembly. The Prime Minister has he's the one who represents. He plays the role of he represents the government before the Parliament. So when this happens, he shows up before the Parliament, he presents the government bills, and then he responds to parliamentary questions. Now, we are going to look at what the relationship that exists between the President of the Republic and the Prime Minister. One, accountability. The Prime Minister is accountable to the President, who has the power to appoint and dismiss the Prime Minister. So since the President of the Republic has the power to appoint and dismiss the Prime Minister at any point in time, the Prime Minister must be very accountable to the President of the Republic on the manner in which he manages the government. Then he appears before the Parliament once in a year in order to give the government budget and answer parliamentary questions. Collaboration. The Prime Minister collaborates with the President to develop and implement government policy and programs. We already spoke about his advice to the President of the Republic. Now, he faces some challenges. The Prime Minister, head of government, has limited authority, as the President has significant powers and can override the Prime Minister's decision. As a result, his decisions they depend on the priorities of the President of the Republic, because the President of the Republic can reverse or annul in total or annulling part of some of his decisions. So as a result, the Prime Minister has what? Limited authority. There are some things he wanna do, but he will not do because he has to seek the consent of the President of the Republic before doing so. If not, remember, the President of the Republic has the power to appoint and dismiss the Prime Minister at any point in time. Now, the Prime Minister also faces challenges at the level of coordinating. Remember, he coordinates government action. The Prime Minister faces coordination challenges as they must work with multiple ministries and departments to implement government policy and programs. So it is difficult to work with different ministry of transport, ministry of public health, ministry of higher education, ministry of post and telecommunication, ministry of public health. It is difficult to work with all these ministries. So there's the collaboration, provided the various ministries are not complying. So it becomes tedious. And the last of which we're going to be talking about, political pressures. The Prime Minister faces political pressures as they must navigate the complexities of Cameroon political landscape and maintain the support of the president and the ruling political party. So he is under political pressure as well. So in conclusion, the Prime Minister of Cameroon plays a crucial role in overseeing the administration of government and coordinating government policy and program. While the Prime Minister has significant responsibilities, they also face what? Challenges, including limited authority, coordination challenges and political pressures, and a lot more. So what are the key points that we are noting? One, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Cameroon is the head of government, responsible for overseeing and the administration of the government. Two, the Prime Minister has significant responsibilities, including coordinating government policy and program, overseeing government administration, and representation of the government in international relations. 3. The Prime Minister has limited authority, as the President of the Republic has significant powers and can override the Prime Minister's decision at any time. The Prime Minister faces coordination challenges as they must work with multiple ministries and departments to implement government policy and programs. So now, I'll be leaving you with the following questions. Make sure you do it and then you submit. 1. What is the role of the Prime Minister in Cameroon's government? 2. What are the Prime Minister's responsibilities and power? So that is the power of the Prime Minister. Discuss the power of the Prime Minister of Cameroon. How does the Prime Minister relate to the President? So what's the relationship between the President and the Prime Minister in Cameroon? What challenges does the Prime Minister face in performing his duties? Then, how can the Prime Minister effectively coordinate government policy and programs? Thank you for watching this. I'm waiting for your solutions. You answer and then you send it. Either you send it to the your answers on the comment section, or you respond to you can get to us and then with your answers. See you in the next video.